Hello, everyone, and welcome to Trending, a show about all of the diverse things going on right here in the city of West Hollywood. I'm Tracy Savage. Diverse is putting it mildly when you think about the residents who live here in West Hollywood. This is a city that doesn't judge. You can be whomever you want and not have to worry about discrimination. West Hollywood is a city that welcomes all lifestyles as long as you're not hurting anyone. You can do whatever you please and live your life however you want and take pride in it. With Pride Month now upon us, today we're going to talk to two local residents who represent alternative lifestyles, and they are celebrating big time this month. Joining me here today on Trending are Mike Gerle, also known as Mr. Leather, and also Sister Unity Divine, a founding member of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. Thank you so much for joining me, both of you.
Oh my God, is she here? I love her. Is she really here?
She's really here.
I love her.
I do too.
She tastes like fruit.
Oh my gosh.
Orange
well,
fruit.
Thank you for being here. I want to find out a whole lot about both of you. I can't wait. Get ready, folks. This is going to be fun. I want to hear about your stories, but then I also want to hear your take on Pride Month and why it's such a special time of year for so many people. So, Mike, I want to start with you.
Okay.
On your website, you say that you are a writer, an analyst, a government bureaucrat, and a leatherman. That's an interesting combination. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where does the leather fit in? What is it about this lifestyle?
Well, it's interesting. I've through writing a book and about my life, and through that I came to an unsettling conclusion that it's very much like the way I was raised. I was raised Mormon with these people who wear very specific clothes, and they go to specific places, and they have specific rituals, and they have this alternate lifestyle. And I realized, oh my God, as a Leatherman, I turned into my father.
Oh, that's funny.
And
would your father agree?
My father's an amazing man.
Yeah.
So we've found some connection with that. So I just found out that I was interested in some things that were making even, some of my gay friends uncomfortable, and they thought I needed therapy, and I thought I'm just going to keep exploring because that's what they told me when I was gay. And then I found a community of people that found that actually brings meaning and connection and brotherhood and a sense of well-being to our lives.
Place.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially in my personal life, we're in a DS relationship, Dom-sub relationship, and that actually helps keep us grounded on a daily basis.
That's great. So you were chosen International Mr. Leather in 2007. That,
yes,
as I now know, is an amazing honor, and congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's been a while now.
Well, that's okay. You wear it well.
Thank you.
You take it seriously.
Yes, yeah. I take the whole title holder system is very controversial within our own community. Is it just a beauty pageant? I think is what a lot of people ask. And what I like to look at it is it's a chance for every unique club or bar or the community itself to get together and ask, who are we? What does it mean to be a Leatherman? And regardless of the answer of that, we're asking that question. Once a year, every group that produces a contestant
makes you think about.
It's like, who are we? Who are we as the Eagle, or who are we as Oil Can Harry's, or who are we as the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence when we have contests? And I take that very seriously. And as we said earlier, I think it morphed. I mean, during the period of the AIDS deaths at the plague, when a lot of people were chipping in, the leather community had a set standard already. Now we had people already on stage at the forefront who could just automatically start doing fundraisers and organizing and do that kind of thing. So it's done that, and now I think that the death times are over as much. I think it's getting sexier again, and anyway.
That's awesome. So what educate me a little bit, what does it mean though to be a Leatherman? Tell me about the culture and the lifestyle.
Well, there's a creed, trust, honor, and respect. Okay. That's what it means to be a Leatherman. And those three things seem very similar, but they're all needed. First, they were needed to protect each other, Some of the things that we do sexually, radical sex requires a lot of trust and respect, and so it means a lot of things to a lot of different people. Some people it means your sexuality. You believe in radical sex, but even in our first groups, our motorcycle groups, not all of those men were into BDSM. Some of them just liked the hypermasculinity. Some of them just liked brotherhood and that kind of thing. So it means a lot of things to a lot of different people. The leather community itself is very diverse, but one of the things I love about it is that it allows you to celebrate that. We really, and label it, and people don't like labels, but we celebrate it, and say, identify it. Like, Sister Unity here is not coming to us as a pup today. We have pups, and we have bears, and we have, all kinds of different, the rubber people, and whatever. I love protocol. I have a protocol fetish.
I'm a chiffon person.
Are you? Okay. Well, this gay male leather culture been around since the 40s, and it did start as sort of a biker type of culture. But now BDSM, it's sort of associated with that, or is associated with that. Is it true that all Leathermen are into that, or is it just a fashion statement? You mentioned that there's all kinds of levels.
Yeah, so lots of people will say, we've morphed over the years. So the answer to your question, I would have to say no, as a fact.
Right.
It's no.
Yeah.
But over the years, it's gone from, you used to have a motorcycle to be considered a Leatherman, but then you moved into the bars, and then
just a whip will do.
Right. Exactly.
The motorcycle got really hard to wear on your head.
It kind of did.
Yeah, so now they just have chains.
That's what I love about Sister Unity, always bringing some clarity.
So it is a lifestyle, but you, Mike Gerle, have also turned it into, a way to reach out to other people. Tell me a little bit about the tribe. I remember when it was started just 4 years ago, and it's still going very strong.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about the tribe discussion group, because what's interesting since then, another group started about the same time, and I'm on a board called the Thrive Tribe, which is something different. But in the city of West Hollywood, there is a gay men's discussion group. Councilmember D'Amico's office sponsored it.
Right.
And but it's oddly enough, I went into his office after, and I said, this city celebrates so much, but there's nothing in the city's borders that's specifically for gay men. Yeah. Not one single thing on on City Hall property is specifically for gay men. Yeah. And everybody's usually baffled. They're like, that can't be, that can't be. And I'm
everything is for gay men here.
Yeah, yeah. And so he said, well, what would you do? And I said, well, at the very least, and then I thought of my leather culture. There's a Leathermen's discussion group in San Francisco. I said, what if we had a gay men's discussion group?
Love it.
And so now we just, we talk about everything from dating. We just had one on race. I think we're on the same same wavelength there, because it's going to be on sexual subcultures within the gay community. We had one on family, because what does family mean? And even in West Hollywood City Hall, sometimes I think we miss the point on that, and we think family is two adults with some children.
Right.
And I have a family, but there's no children.
Right.
And
you consider your home a family.
Yeah, I mean, at the time that we did that discussion, I had my boy and I had my slave, and my slave had a boy, and we're this 4-member polyamorous family. Yeah. And that's we need to expand when we want to say, is this family oriented? It's like, what do you really mean by that?
Yeah. Well, this is certainly the city where you're going to bring those subjects up, because it's much more welcoming than somewhere in the Midwest.
Absolutely. This is the place where we just celebrate. That's where the mayor comes in and sits in and has those discussions. Like, that's a great point. So it's I love West Hollywood for that, and I love that we're just pushing the edge all the time to be a leader, to be the rainbow beacon for that in the world. Yeah.
Well, Sister Unity Divine, you've been much too quiet over there in the corner. That's good.
No charge.
I want to know how you were a founding member. How did you start this convent? What was the point? What got you to do this? And the makeup, I mean, my gosh, it's gorgeous.
Well, I was single and bored, and I had some Play-Doh
in
multiple colors. So I, just formed little teeny drag nuns, and I breathed life into them, because I am, after all, one with the universe.
You are.
No, that's not at all how that happened. It really happened. I had met the sisters when I was
Yeah.
and San Francisco in 1980, in their early days, and it just electrified me.
Yeah.
I got the joke, and I got the pie in the face. It was close to the time when Anita Bryant got her pie in the face, which sort of was one of the things that ended her tirade against homosexuality in the 70s. And then there they were in like, not on a poster, not on a piece of graffiti. It was like a full-on performance art statement about homosexuality and claiming one of the most sort of sacred, sacrosanct images of cleanliness and purity, the female in the nun's habit for men with hairy beards and hairy chests. And that statement of, love us or hate us, there is gay, and here it is embodied in our behavior. And they were one of the first groups to really put that out there, along with the Coquettes and sundry drag queens in every city. But there they were on the streets of San Francisco doing it, and that
It was
electrified
shocking
me.
at first.
Wonderfully and appropriately,
Yes.
door opening, shocking.
Yes.
And that I recognized and loved. And it was the early 80s when punk and new wave and performance art were all converging, and those doors were now being opened by, young, filthy, wonderful, creative people. I count myself
You
as
are
as
one of them.
so then years went by, and I was doing it on my own and doing drag in the streets of West Hollywood and whatnot. And then this guy, Eric Pruitt, he had also sort of got religion, if you will, going to San Francisco, and he was like, I'm going to do a house here in LA. I want to do one. And he got the okay from Sister Camille Leon up in San Francisco, who was their abbess at the time. And so he put together a group, and he had seen me from a few drag show charity fundraisers for Aunt Bee's Laundry, which
You're
no longer
beautiful.
exists.
You figured you'd be perfect for the role.
Well, thank you. It was actually also because I'm silly. And humor is an absolute necessary tool that the sisters use.
I like it.
ACT UP and Queer Nation used to fight against the disregard for HIV and AIDS care using anger appropriately, and they used to talk about that. And the sisters, however, like, we feel angry, but we take it out with humor because we feel that if you're the jester and the fool and you can make people laugh, laughter breaks things open. Either people relax or it confounds debaters who refuse to move off their position and actually build an argument and build a discussion by listening. And people just stay where they are.
They don't know what to do with you.
They don't know what to do with you. And you
love it.
make your point and you make everyone laugh, and it sort of points up the rigidity and therefore the fallacy of the rigid point of view.
Sure.
So that's that all was appealing to both of us, and he thought I could do it, and he enjoyed doing it, and so he called me and 3 other people, and there were 5 of us at the outset.
1995, right?
1995 is when he met with the sister in San Francisco and got the word. Our first manifestation was here in West Hollywood in 1996. Diana Ross and RuPaul did a music video like right down Santa Monica Boulevard, right in front of Rage, with the West Hollywood cheerleaders were there. A lot of the big name drag queens of the day were there, and the sisters were there, and that was our first appearance.
And so I was reading on your website about 35 members. You've grown to about 35 members. Is that correct? And that's still a pretty elite group, right? It's not everybody can do what you do.
I suppose it's true. I say it hesitatingly because, yes, not everyone wants to wear a dress and put on an hour's worth of grease paint. And not everyone wants to appear as feminine, and not everyone wants to be an activist and stick their neck out.
Right.
But at the same time, we believe that everyone has something of the sisters in them, in their own way. And part of our message, we'll be at DragCon on May 16th and 17th here down at the LA Convention Center, and we've decided this is part of our message. Everyone has a part of what we do in them. You may not look like this, but you can speak up. You can speak up in public. You can be funny. You can use humor to say the truth. You can be compassionate. You can care about gay, lesbian, AIDS charities or other charities. You can be creative doing so. If you don't want to be a nun, then if you're a goth, dress as a vampire who raises money to care for breast cancer survivors, you know? So whatever your milieu is, being creative, being free, and being who you are with no shame or guilt, and plugging your intuitive imagination into what you're doing is an opportunity for every human on the earth, if they decide to take it.
You are so fabulous.
Isn't that amazing? Yes,
and it's
yeah.
not, I mean, you're fabulous on the outside, but wow, what an amazing person you are.
It's chocolate.
Is it?
I'm
Okay.
sure I get a diet of chocolate.
Well, it says that your goal is to embrace our gay and diverse selves and each other as we are today, as we were born and as we were meant to be. And if we can do this while raising money for charity and being our natural fabulous selves, then there's room for you to be as fabulous as you are and as you were meant to be. And so that is just a great message. Your message is a great message because you're really doing a lot of good, aren't you?
Well, thanks. I appreciate that, and I don't disagree with you. I grew up in New England where you're not supposed to sort of laud yourself.
Yeah.
But I'd rather say that my goal is that it meant so much to me to come to a place, Los Angeles, West Hollywood in particular, where I could express myself as I saw fit and let my imagination just do what it wanted to do.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the little lines are fun, but I swear to you, that's where my mind goes. I like to wander, I like to curl. So that's what art is. It expresses what you're feeling inside, who you are inside.
Sure.
And so because I get to do that, I thought it was important to create an opportunity for other people to do that. And then when Sister Candy, Eric's chosen name was Sister Candy, when she called me to join in on this, I was like, absolutely, because here now is a forum, the sisters, where we can express that and where we can be sort of, I think of it like an icebreaker in the Arctic. Maybe not for much longer, but you know, the icebreaker, you know, crushes the ice and makes that channel, and then all the other ships can also do that. And I must say that the sisters have found that one of our most welcoming and loyal allied communities have definitely been the leather community, because they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They're expressing themselves, expressing their eroticism, expressing their imagination, expressing their creativity around their identity in public and with each other.
Yes.
And so we kind of get each other, and it makes a wonderful synthesis.
I love it.
And they're also actually really sweet people.
Yeah.
The big secret.
The
big secret about the Leathermen is they're the pussycats. It's the drag queens who'll cut you.
I love it. All right, so you mentioned West Hollywood. This is Pride Month in West Hollywood. It actually begins Harvey Milk Day near the end of May and runs all through June, so it's even longer than a month. Why is it such an important time of the year for you and for the city of West Hollywood and really just in general? Mike, I'll ask you first.
Well, again, it's like what I said about the leather contest. I think it's a ritual. It's when the community comes together, and we're not a community. We're a collection of communities that have this thing in common where the rest of the year we are usually a minority group. And what I love about Pride, especially like the parade or when we have very specific areas of the festival, that we celebrate each other, and we're just like, you know, even, you know, whether it's, you know, I'll never be a lesbian, but I love the Dykes on Bikes. I mean, we all love the Dykes on Bikes rolling down the street. Those are our sisters, and even if we're not with them the rest of the year, we have that kinship, and that Pride gives us the chance to do that. And
it lasts the whole year then. I mean, that power that you build during that.
Well, that's what I would hope we could get that way. I'm nudging the city. I'm trying to push the city that I wish that our public facilities and the parks and all that were like that all year round. I mean, West Hollywood is.
Well, they kind of are after certain hours.
Yeah. Well, but the city, but like gay culture has evolved, and the Pride Parade itself has been a true example of that. It used to be the places that we gathered were represented, and they were like all these bar floats. You know, these young guys watched these old pictures of our parade, and they said, "Why were all these bar floats coming down?" And it's like because that was representing how we got together, how we came together as a community. And now I think it's time to take the next step and realize that the gay community is now everywhere, but we're still doing things together. Whether I'm part of the AIDS Life Cycle group, I've done that like 5 years. I'm doing it again this year, this time as a moto, or just a myriad of things. A lot of sporting activities. A writers group that I was part of. Amazing experience listening to senior writers read their poetry, and for me to learn my history in the city from them. But that didn't happen in West Hollywood. We had to go out of the city of West Hollywood to find that programming. And so that's where the city can bring that stuff in and grow, and we're doing that. It used to just be Gay Pride. Now it is, like you said, it's probably like 5 weeks, and we can start to like delve into all of these things and find out who our different packs are.
I love it. Well, you know, you see on the news during Pride Month, you'll see the video of the party scene and people having a great time. But it's not just a party. It's not just going out into the bars. There's a deeper significance for Pride Month.
Oh, it's a time to celebrate who we are. I mean, I think a really great example was going to Pride. It's like a family reunion, but it's my family reunion where I show up. I drive there with my partner at the time. He's my husband now, on my motorcycle, and we go to the leather area called Erotic City, and we play there the way leather people play. But then I took him across the park, and that year we had a water park, and we rode on the slides and did all that stuff. And you know, MTV was there shooting stuff, and he got his picture taken with some famous person, which he loves. And then we walked over to the country tent and did some two-stepping, you know, all in the same gear and outfits. And that's the beauty of Pride, and is expressing all
And what
these
is the
different
message
ways
you're
of being.
sending out to the rest of the communities, the rest of Los Angeles?
Well, there's a big point about the frivolity and the party. And I don't want the meaning and the depth of being absolutely frivolous and a flibbity-gibbet in a thong, in a rainbow thong in the middle of the street. I mean, that has value. And the value is this. There's 2 points. 1, 3 years ago, my ex-boyfriend was bashed into unconsciousness and hospitalized blocks from West Hollywood City Hall. We all know about the teen suicides from a few years ago. They continue.
They do.
Trans people are still bashed and killed. Gay people are still bashed and killed. In any city in North America, you can find these stories. So those of us who have the liberty to let our freak flag fly, those of us who are in communities where we can build a lighthouse with a beacon of fun, frivolity, creativity, gayness, whether it's in a thong on a float wiggling a shapely buttock, or whether it is Ivy Bottini in a car exhibiting gay history and the meaning of gay history, whatever it is, whether it is a 13-year-old fag with a streamer in his hand, as gay as it can be, sends the message to those who are in North Dakota, who are in Alabama, who are in the places where they can't be creative, where they can't be gay or trans or bi, that there is space, that there is room, that there are others. Do you remember when Ellen first came out on her show, she said she had a choice to come out and then go back to regular storylines, or to push, knowing she'd be canceled, push the gay storylines, and she chose to push the gay storylines, and she said it was because she was getting letters from people, and she read one from one of the Dakotas about someone who said, I thought I was the only one, and then I saw your show, and now I know, and now I feel better. And that is the point of Pride. That is the point of all of the silliness.
I love it.
Yeah.
What bit of advice do you give to people, and not just people here in West Hollywood, but people all over who are trying to figure themselves out, who aren't sure where they fit in, and you have these alternative lifestyles that you live. What advice do you give to people out there who are trying to figure themselves out, the kids in North Dakota?
Well, do you want to?
So the first thing is to make sure that you find safe space in which to do it. Either that, or get your guts together, you know, work yourselves out with your emotional muscles and make sure that you can brave whatever reactions you might get from parents, family, school, etc. Or try and find safe space. If you go online, you can find a lot of things, a lot of programs, a lot of out-of-the-way places. There are churches who are gay-friendly. There are gay groups. There are sisters in 35 different cities around the United States now. So whatever it is, do some research, do some homework, and find yourself safe space.
That is a really excellent point. And then say, because I was going to start after that, but that's the first place you start. After that is like, find out who you are. You are a unique, beautiful person, exactly the way you are. I'm not looking for you to be a leather man, or we're not looking for you to be a sister, or looking for you to be, you know,
if it's not what you
religious, you know, it's just whatever. But all those options are available. all those options are queer manifestations of gay people.
Yeah.
And so find out what works for you.
Yeah.
You know.
There's some criteria too. You know, finding your safe space, whether it's community-wide or whether it's one room once a month with a certain group or whatever it is your artist's studio. And what do artists do? They see what comes out of them and they experiment. You should feel free to pick up a little leather, a little drag, see what you like. And even if you don't like it, even trying it can inform other parts of you, see what's for you and what's not for you. And hopefully you will have a safe space in which to do that. But also, one of the criteria that you can use for knowing that you're following a path that is going to be rewarding in the long term is, what is your experience? Check in with yourself. Do you feel uplifted? Do you feel transformed in a way that opens doors, leads to freedom, leads to your feeling a presence of your own self? Do you feel inside, oh, wow, my heart is thrumming. Oh, I feel myself grounded in here. I feel more full. I feel more whole. And does it have a beneficial effect on the community? Does it uplift other people? Does your drag or your leather cause someone else in high school to go, I was afraid, but I see you and now I feel good? Does it make other people go, you are horrible and Satan is coming to claim your nipples? Even that can be seen as a beneficial reaction, because to stir things up is to get people thinking and talking, even if it at first is negative. But does it have a beneficial effect on your life? Does it have a beneficial effect on those around you? And that's good criteria for knowing that you're heading down a path that is worth following, and in some cases is worth taking a risk on, risking your own neck. Well, what will my reaction be? I'm going to risk it because I feel freer, I feel good, and I notice that it does help people that I care about.
That's fantastic. Well, Michael Gerle and Sister Unity Divine, thank you both so much for being here today. This has been an amazing conversation, and I really appreciate you being here today. And happy Pride Month.
Our pleasure. Thank you for inviting us.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Thank you so much. And that is trending for today. If you have a comment or would like more information, or if you have an idea for a trending topic, just leave a message at WehoTV on Facebook or Twitter. You can also email us. Just remember to put #trending in the subject line, and we'll get right back to you. I'm Tracy Savage, and happy Pride Month.